Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I was supposed to have a joint session with a young guy. He has about 500 followers, but he hasn't got back to me. So I guess I just start the session. So this morning I went to meet with a homeowner. They have 2 properties in Los Angeles. It belongs to their grandparents. So they have a 2-unit plus a 4-unit. The 2-unit may be able to sell for 1.2 million. The 4-unit may sell anywhere between 1.5 to 1.8 million, because they have 3 siblings, so they're gonna divide the money. So each sibling is gonna get $1 million. So we were talking about the planning for them to, how should they spend $1 million? So if they stay in California and purchase another property in California, their quality of their standard of life is not going to increase. It might even reduce. It might even reduce the quality of life, because the property in California is so expensive. So basically, if they get that $1 million, let's say if they buy 2 units, they can live in 1 unit, and the other unit is going to help them to pay for the give them some extra income. But it's not going to be a whole lot extra income. Because in California the property is kind of expensive. So let's say if they use $1 million to buy the property and they lease out the 2nd unit, maybe they can get anywhere maybe around $3,000. But let's say if they move out of state, let's say if they go to Florida with the same $1 million, they use $300K to buy a property for themselves to live in, and the remaining $700K they can buy let's say maybe a $2 million property. Multi-unit property, $2 million. So let's say if you can buy the property for 10% cap rate, so they can get about 200K income, net income each year. That's about 18,000 income every month. That's the difference. So if they had stayed in California, they can get a duplex where their monthly income is going to be maybe 3,000 the most. But if they move out of state and they purchase the property for themselves to live in for 300K, and the remaining 700K they can buy a multi-units. But actually, let me see. I gotta subtract the mortgage. So let's say they buy a $2 million property, they put 700K down, so their mortgage they owe $1.3 million. $1.3 million at 5%. That's somewhere around 60K, 6,000, right? So 6,000 and they're 18,000. So they're gonna net about 12,000 income, 12,000 net income after paying off the mortgage. Good morning, Crypto Mary. David, are you a wholesaler? No, I'm not a wholesaler. I'm a real estate broker. I'm also invest in real estate property, commercial real estate property. Yeah, just investment and sales. So where you invest make a big difference. If you, because in California the return is so low, right? In California, the highest return you can expect is probably if you get lucky, maybe you're gonna get a 5% return. But you cannot even find 5%. If you're trying to buy a home now and if you try to lease it out, your return is probably you're looking at 2%, 3%. That's really low return, and your income is very minimum. But if you're willing to go out of state, then with the same amount of money you have, it can go so much further. So essentially, I'm gonna use this same example. So this owner, if they had bought the $1 million, bought the property with $1 million in California, they cannot retire. They would need to go get a job and continue working, because their income is only $3,000. Hello, La Cabina. So, but if they take that money and go out of state, they can retire right away. That's how much of a big difference it makes. What's your prediction for single-family home values over the next 5 years? Right now, I can already see there is some correction already, because I represent homeowners to sell their home to. Before, when I put a home on the market, it literally doesn't need any work. We put on the market, it's sold. We put on the market, it's sold. We don't even need to, we just tell the buyers, hey, here's what you need to do to get it. Now it takes some extra work. Now we need to negotiate with the buyer. We need to go back and forth. The market is already started to make the correction. So the market in a single family home market is definitely going to have a correction. In some of the major cities, the single family homes are expensive, but there's still many areas in the country where the property is still pretty much affordable. There's still many states where you can purchase a single family where you can get a decent return. But if you want to get a higher return, it's still better to buy either commercial real estate or multi-units, because those type of property are still sort of competitive, but it's not as competitive as single family property, because most people are going after the single family properties. So the return you're gonna get is much lower, and it's also a little bit more competitive when you try to purchase the property. Did I answer your question, Dennis Ventura? Okay, follow my TikTok. Buy property off market. And yeah, I mean, to being a wholesaler is good in the beginning if you can make some money, so you can. But ultimately, you still want to invest yourself. If you can buy the property yourself, try not to wholesale it, because when you wholesale it, it's just it's also another rat race, because you need to continue to find deals and to generate income, and it's not that easy to find it. It's not that easy to find a good deal. I mean, if I were you, I wouldn't do wholesale. I just buy it myself. Is it true that corporations are now buying single family homes? That's what I've been hearing. I didn't go verify. But what I heard is that they have this investment funds. They would bid up each other's home property investment. So let's say corporation A, they buy a property, and then corporation B, they buy it from the corporation A. They raise the price, and then either they are doing it amongst themselves, or the corporation actually buying the homes between themselves inside the company to increase the price. That may be possible. I mean, because some area the price is going crazy. Like in Irvine, I was talking to a homeowner. She wanted to sell a home. That was like half a year ago. So I quoted them. I gave them a quote, I estimate. I said your property is gonna be able to sell for anywhere between around like $1.7 million. And then we checked the price again a couple weeks ago. Now the same $1.7 million now can go as high as $2.5 million. That's like a $800K price increase in like a half a year. So there are still deals to be found. You just try not to go those areas where the price is going up crazy. Try not to focus in the more like popular areas. For example, if you go to Florida, everybody's looking at properties in Miami, in Orlando. If you go to Texas, everybody's looking at properties in Austin, in Houston, in Dallas. So those areas, it's gonna be hard for you to find a good deal, because that's where everybody's looking. But if you just go a little bit further out, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes out, then you're gonna find a much better deal. So for example, there's a whole bunch of other locations nearby Orlando that have much better deal you can purchase. For example, Lakeland, between Tampa and Orlando, Ocala, there's a whole bunch of areas that's nearby the major cities where you can still find good deals. Follow my TikTok, give me some likes, whatever question you have, we can talk about it. So if you're wanting to move, depending on how much money you want to make. So basically, if you want to retire, or if you want to not working anymore, you just need to be able to replace your active income with your passive income. And to most people, I think if you're not spending money like crazy, to most people probably 10 grand a month, that's probably enough for most people to live on. If you could find get enough income to passive income to replace your active income, then then essentially you can retire anytime if you can have that passive income. Hello from New Zealand. Hello, brother. The brother Hooks. New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand is very beautiful. When I was in high school, one of my my schoolmates is from New Zealand. I hear some people complaining, saying that New Zealand's property is expensive too. I mean, nowadays properties, if you're gonna go to the major cities, most major cities the properties are expensive. So that's why you gotta look out further into like the suburb area, and also you gotta look at different property types. For example, if everybody's looking to buy single family home, then don't buy a single family home, because if you're gonna buy the same thing as everybody else, you're not gonna get a good deal. So for me, right now I'm still investing out of state, but I'm not looking to purchase single family properties. Usually I look for multifamily, I look for mobile home parks, I look for some other type of commercial real estate, warehouse, self-storage, office. So it's basically anything that makes sense, that has a good capitalization rate. So basically, because we're trying to think we're investing in real estate, right? We just want to look at the numbers to make sure the number makes sense. Oh yeah, so that's pretty much the same way everywhere now. Like in most major cities, if you want to buy a property, you're looking at least $1 million. That's the same thing. That's the same case in my area as well. The city I live in, I bought my property for $600K. Before it used to be, just like an average neighborhood. I mean, now it's still average neighborhood, but the home is gonna be, most of the homes are close to $1 million now. So that's why you want to buy properties. You want to, you don't want to keep the money in your bank, because when you keep money in the bank, when inflation go up like this, you're gonna be going crazy, because your money is disappearing. But if you own properties, doesn't matter how inflation goes, how long the inflation is gonna continue, you don't have to worry, because you don't hold cash, you hold the property. Yes, same in NYC, even in the inner city. Yeah, but there's still many areas that the deal that you can find good deals. You just need to. Hello, Grinzel. Thank you for the roses. You just need to be willing to travel. So I travel all the time. I go to nowadays I go to Florida more because I have a property over there. But there's still, if you're willing to travel, if you're willing to leave your get out of your hometown. There's still many area in America that you can get a good deal. Hello, Nicholas, Jackie Chan. welcome. Follow my TikTok. Give me some likes. Whatever question you have, we can talk about it. Let me know where you're from. I'm from Los Angeles, California. So that's the thing, right? So a lot of people ask me, oh, how can I invest in real estate? How can I buy my first property? You need to increase your income, because no matter what, you still need to have the down payment to purchase property. If you do not have the down payment, there's nothing much you can do other than, maybe partnership with other people. So no matter what, you need to figure out a way to increase your income and save the money to save the down payment and get into a property as soon as possible. I'm in Santa Barbara, but I'm moving back to Florida, where I'm originally from. The market was crazy. Oh yeah, Santa Barbara. If you own the property in Santa Barbara, and you move back to Florida, you're set. You don't need to work another day in your life, because literally the price in Santa Barbara is probably anywhere between 5 to 10 times of the price in Florida, depending on where in Florida you move back to. Hello, Della Racing. Welcome. What state you live in? I live in Los Angeles, California. So I'm not even investing in Los Angeles in California, because the prices here, number one, is too expensive. Number two, the regulation is very stupid. Like the Los Angeles County, they just I think they came up with a new moratorium where the tenant are able to live rent-free until 2025 or 2026. So yeah, so I just own a home where I live. That's the home I live in Los Angeles. But I'm not gonna buy anything in California because it's expensive and it's the regulation is very stupid. You can still make money flipping properties, as long as you can find a good deal. I mean, there's always good deal to be found, right? There's foreclosures, there's pre-foreclosures, there's ugly homes. There, as long as you can find the deals. But I don't do flips. I mean, I did a flip before, but I don't do it anymore because I didn't do too much flip. I just did one. So I did a flip before. I bought this home in San Bernardino. That was a long time ago. I paid I think I paid $150,000 for it, and then I sold it for I think $275,000. I made about $125,000. I shouldn't have sold it. So if I had kept it till today, it's gonna be worth at least $500K. So that's the thing, right? People, most well-to-do people, most rich people, they never sell. So I would never sell a property unless you get a crazy price, right? Let's say if the price is worth market price is $1 million. If somebody wants to buy it for $2 million, then I'm gonna sell. Otherwise, I'm not gonna sell at all. So because when you flip, it's also like another type of rat race. Of course, you make a little bit more money than 9 to 5, but if the minute you stop, you don't have any more income come in. So there's no need for you to flip. You should buy it and refinance, put the money out, and buy the next property. Just do the BRRRR method, right? BRRR. Yeah, the average home in Santa Barbara is 1.5 million. Yeah, that's 1.5 million in Santa Barbara. You probably can get a tiny cottage, but with 1.5 million, you can do so much in Florida or Texas or any other states. Yeah. No, not just residential. Actually, no, I don't invest in residential homes. The residential homes I have is just the one I live in. But for investment, I only purchase a commercial property because the residential home market is too saturated. It's too expensive. Everybody's looking, to purchase residential homes. Greetings from North Umbria. Umbria, welcome. Where's North Umbria? How about New York City? So, okay, doesn't matter where you're trying to purchase. You got to calculate a number. You got to see the return, right? Let's say if you're buying a property for $1 million, and let's say if your net income is 100K, then your capitalization rate is 10%. That's really good. That means you're gonna get your money back in 10 years. But in most areas, you're not gonna find this kind of deal. You can only find this type of deal off market. Like the mobile home park I bought it with a 13% cap. Let's say if I buy a home in California right now in Los Angeles, let's say if I buy it for $1 million, maybe I can lease it out for $4,000. And let's say if I subtract all expenses, maybe I'm gonna net $25,000 a year. That's what. That's a 2.5% return. 2.5% return means I'm not gonna get my money back until 40 years later. That return is too low. But the property I bought in Florida, I bought it at 13% cap rate, and I still have 10 spaces empty. So once I fill in the 10 spaces, I probably can get my return up to 25%. What does that mean? 25% means I can get my money back in 4 years. That's a huge difference. It's like 10 times higher, the capitalization rate. Okay. Do you know karate? I don't practice karate. I practice Wing Chun. I don't know if you watched that movie by Donnie Yen, the Ip Man movie. So that's what I practice. What's a good way to start bringing in passive income? A good way to start bringing passive income, buy real estate. That's the easiest way. Just start from a small. Even starting from a small property is okay. But the key is to get into a property as soon as you can. Just save up. Because some people. I have a friend. He has 300K, in his bank. But he's always waiting for the cheapest interest rate. He's always waiting for the cheapest price. He's waiting for the home price to drop. He still haven't bought. But now his 300K. The same 300K he has can only buy half of the property 1 or 2 years ago. So don't wait. Just don't try to time the market. Just get into a property as soon as possible. That way, even if there's inflation, it's not gonna affect you because you're not holding the cash. You're owning the property. For mobile home park, if you can get it for anywhere under 20K per lot per space, that's a pretty good deal already. Because let's say if you bought it for 20K per space, let's say if you bought 100 unit, that's $2 million. Because if you get it for less than 20K a space, that means there's a very high likelihood, there's a high chance that you can sell for at least 30K per space. Let's say if you bought it for 20K per space for 100 units, and if you sold it for 30K per unit for 3 million, that means you have made $1 million. If you could sell it for 40K per unit, that means you can make you made $2 million. Your age, I'm 45. How to get into corporate housing? Corporate housing, are you talking about foreclosures? Are you talking about what do you mean? What do you mean by corporate housing? Foreclosures or Airbnb? What age did you buy your first property? I think I bought my first property in my late 20s. I actually, in the beginning, because I started out as a real estate agent, but in the beginning I wasn't doing very well because I don't have the right information and my sales skill is not that good. So in the beginning I didn't make a whole lot of money. I struggled for quite a while until I started to make some money from real estate sales. Then I started, the first property I bought was the flip. So I bought that flip and I made I think 125K from that flip. That was in my late 20s. Follow my TikTok. Give me some likes. Whatever question you have, we can talk about it. Let me know where you're from. I'm from Los Angeles, California. Okay, Airbnb. If I have a property but want to appear to travel nurses or business people, there's a guy. He's always advertising online about this. Maybe I can forward him to you. You can follow my TikTok. I don't know too much about Airbnb. I just hear some different videos here and there. But some people say, because everybody's getting, hello, thank you for the gift. Dennis, thank you for the gift. So many people, they talk about, buying Airbnb nearby the hospitals, but they were saying that's probably not a good idea because everybody's teaching that. So everybody started doing Airbnb in nearby hospitals. So it become really saturated. So you have a lot of competition. Do you buy a house? Do you buy a house that appraised less than asking price? I try to if I can, but that's not the point. The point is you want to look at the return, right? Because whenever you invest in real estate, there's two objectives, right? There's either you're going after the cash flow or you're going after the appreciation. If you can have both, that's perfect. But a lot of times you cannot have both. So a lot of times either is are you looking to have a high cash flow? Or are you looking to get the high appreciation? But nowadays, if you're gonna buy a home, you're not gonna get a high appreciation because the price is already so high. So then you're probably most likely gonna go after the cash flow, right? Because usually not to kind of like a little bit a place that are kind of far away, a little bit far away from metro area, you're gonna have a better cash flow because the property is not as expensive, but it's probably not gonna appreciate as quickly or as much. But you're gonna get more cash flow. So this is a trade-off. Like what you want. Are you looking for cash flow or are you looking for capital gain, right? How often do you go live? I need to learn more. Okay, thank you. Whenever I have a chance, I just go live. But last time I had this some stupid guy. He was making trouble in the group, and I cursed him out, and he reported me. So the TikTok, they blocked my live session for like a week. so now they just unblock my TikTok live session. So I mean, whenever I have a chance, I'll go live. Yeah. Hello, Avina Hikari. Buy real estate NFT instead of a physical property. I don't know. I mean, EFT. because that's you don't have much control. I mean, if you pick in the right, it's kind of like buying a stock versus buying a business, right? So if you're buying a stock, you don't know what people are doing with the stock. There's a lot of investment fund or private equity fund. They're playing games on the stocks. So you don't know it's really good or not good. So once you buy the stock, you end up losing money. But if you buy a small company, you buy the entire share. As long as you can verify, the income they're making is legitimate. As long as you can verify they have the client list, as long as you can verify that it's going to continue to make money, then there's nothing much going to go wrong, right? It's the same thing with real estate. If you buy real estate by yourself, if you just invest in real estate directly, you're going to verify the income, you're going to verify the rent roll, you're going to verify the expenses, then you know for sure how much you're going to make, right? So you have 100% control of it. Or you can invest in some private equity fund. I mean, as long as the number makes sense, then maybe okay. So you got to make sure that the number they gave it to you is real number and that is not fake numbers. For example, they tell you, okay, you're gonna get I'm gonna guarantee you get a 8% return, whatever, or 10% return. So the good thing about EFT or any private equity is that you're hands off, right? You don't need to worry about what kind of property to buy. You don't need to worry about management. And if they're a legitimate company and if they can guarantee you the return, then okay, then that's probably good. It's just depending on how much involvement you want to put in, right? Some people, they want to have control, then you should do it. You should invest yourself. Some other people, they have no time. For example, if they're a doctor, if they're engineer, if they're busy, they have no time to manage the property. They have no time to go look for the property with a good deal, because it's actually not that easy to look for a property with a high return. So if that's the case, if you don't have the time to do it, then maybe it's okay to buy to invest your money in some kind of a private fund or investment fund. I know you bowling. Okay. Check out token. Top token. Okay. Top token. Okay. Gratitude. Thank you. Leah. Thank you. How to find these potential properties. Okay. So cash flow is very, very easy, right? So basically, like I gave the example earlier, right? Let's say if you're buying this property for $1 million, let's say the monthly gross rent is $10,000. That's $120K a year. Let's say assume your expense is $20K, so your net income is $100K. So your net income $100K divided by the $1 million price, that means your return is 10%, right? 10% return means you're gonna get your money back in 10 years, right? Let's say if you increase that income from 120K to, let's say your net income now become 200K instead of 100K, and if you're still selling it for $1 million, then that's good for the buyer because they're getting a 20% return. But it's not good for the seller, because if I was the seller, if I increase my income to 200K, I would sell it at $2 million because my income increased. So I'm talking about commercial real estate. That's the beauty of commercial real estate. The commercial real estate value doesn't go with the market. The determination of how much it's worth have a direct relation with how much rental income you can generate. The more rental income you can generate, the more price you can sell the property. Give you a review, okay. Would you buy for only 200 cash flow? I mean, there's really no right or wrong answer. If that's the only property you have the money to buy, then okay. But you gotta build in the margin of safety, right? So let's say if the tenant left, so that's the major difference between single family and multifamily. Let's say if you buy a single family property, and if you every month you can get $200 cash flow. If the tenant leave, then you suddenly become negative cash flow, because if the tenant doesn't pay you the rent, then you have nobody to pay for your mortgage, right? So that's why I always prefer to buy multi-tenants property. For example, 2 units, 4 units, 10 units, 20 units. So even if you have one tenant leave, it's not gonna affect you paying the mortgage, right? Or I mean, there's a way to buy single tenant, which is triple net, because for triple net, number one, you're leasing the property. You're leasing the property to major, national franchise corporations, for example, Jack in the Box, Pizza Hut, those kind of companies, and they take care of all the expenses. You don't do anything. You don't even need to repair anything. They repair everything on their own, and every month you just collect the rent. Even if they they don't operate there anymore, they're probably gonna still continue to pay you the rent, even if it's empty, because they're national corporation, so they have the money, and also they have the reputation to continue to pay you. When you inherit a property with 2 other siblings, what is the best personal move? Okay, actually this morning, I went to meet with the owner. They have the same situation. So they have a total 3 siblings. They're trying to sell 2 properties. Total value is about $3 million. So, I mean, if you want to split the money, thanks for the gift. If you want to split the money, there's a couple options. One option is sell the properties and everybody split the money. That's one option. Another option, let's say if 2 siblings don't want to sell, only one sibling want to cash out, then what they can do is they can get a equity loan, or they can get a refinance. They can get the equity out, maybe get out $1 million and give it to you. Then you can take out your money. So that are some of the options. Give us some reviews. Okay, it will be purchasable in 2 days. Okay, congratulations. Okay, top token. Good luck with everything. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Thank you guys for all the questions. Follow my TikTok. Give me some likes. Whatever question you have, we can talk about it. Hello, Bella Luna. Good to see you. If buying rental properties, would senior only be better investment? Are you talking about a tenant? Yeah, I mean, senior tenants is pretty good because they're very stable and they don't make trouble. Actually, the mobile home park I have is mostly senior inside, so it's relatively easier to manage. Buy some property in high desert. They are building bullet train from here to Vegas. It will go up. Maybe. I mean, I heard that story too, because I think that company from Florida, they bought this project. I forgot the name of it. They built the high-speed train from Miami to Orlando. So they bought this project from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. When you inherit a property with siblings, what is the best personal move? Okay. Did I answer your question, Denise? Dennis? Denise or Dennis? Dennis, did I answer your question? Are we going to see a recession next year? I'm starting to see some type of reset already. The Fed will raise rates to slow inflation. Yeah, it's probably gonna reset somewhat. Yeah. Do you put do you put it in LLC once you buy them? Yes, you want to put the property in LLC because it can limit your exposure. Let's say if you have 10 properties, each property worth $1 million, you want to put each property under single separate LLC. That way, if somebody sue you, they can only sue you for that property. They cannot sue you all the other properties. Let's say if you put all 10 properties under your personal name, let's say one person in one property sue you, they can sue all your properties. That's the biggest difference. It's basically limit the exposure. What if risk felt normal, like investing? What? I don't understand your question. Skin Daddy, what do you mean? What if risk feels normal, like investing? I don't understand your question. For someone who cannot afford property yet, what's something that could bring the decent cash flow? Decent cash flow. So here's the thing, right? Either you work for money or money work for you. So until you can have money work for you, you gotta work for money, and you need to increase your income. Do whatever you can. Increase your skill. Let me see. Increase your skill and get a certificate. Best state for cash flow. Most of the Sunbelt states are pretty good. Texas, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, NC, inherited land, what can I do? Sell it. You can sell the land, or you can. It's very nowadays kind of hard to build stuff, so probably just sell it. Is putting your personal home in LLC a good strategy if you run business from the home? Probably no, because for your personal home, you automatically have a 500K capital gain tax free. I have 10 properties. Sue for what? Something is done by a licensed contractor and inspected. Well, I mean, you never know, right? Maybe let's say you have somebody go do some work for you, and suddenly they something happened to them, and they have no license, and the insurance company, they refuse to pay. Anything could happen. Like I invest so much, it doesn't feel like risk anymore. It just feels normal, but I used to feel scared. Exactly, yeah. That's the problem. A lot of people, it's like driving, right? If you're driving for the first time, you gotta feel scared. But if you drive for all the time, you don't feel scared anymore. So a lot of people that's new to investing, then they will not feel comfortable. If something happens, it's unlicensed individual or county inspector. I have 10 properties. Sue for what? Okay, website you use for checking rent estimate. You can just use Zillow Rent. Okay, let me log off, because I was supposed to have an appointment with somebody. Let me log off, see if they're still there. If not, I'll come back in, okay? Thank you for the questions. Follow my TikTok. Thank you.